They done took down Puff. They done took down all these other powerful black people. Jay-Z's like the lone standing powerful black man.
You do the track wrestling on them. Jay is them people.
But I know they went up to the feds one day and they took some paperwork up there to him.
Let's be very clear. This is the email that DJ Vlad sent me, his producer sent me, asking me to appear on his podcast on YouTube just after the Cassie video was released on my birthday.
But like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. So I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations are crazy.
Man, that was 50 Cent. No one's scared of 50 Cent. I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
I think it was kind of taken out of context a little bit, but what do you think about it?
I don't think it was taken out of context. No, I think the guy who was talking to him made him feel like a punk. You see what I'm saying? So he had to say, yo, nobody scared of 50. Let's get this clear. Nobody is scared of 50. But I'm not the issue. Him making you feel like a punk is the issue. And at the end of the day, I look at it and people don't assess themselves. Even really intelligent people. Jay is a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? He'll analyze other people and other things that they're doing and not actually look at what's happening to him and his transition and difference.
Jay, your music saved my life, man. We're Sagittarius too, Bob. Thank you so much.
There was a time when Jay-Z and Diddy appeared untouchable, protected by influence and unwavering loyalty. But the documentary highlights how fast alliances can fade when a balance of power changes. As pressure mounted around Diddy, the public response stayed quiet, while behind closed doors, a one-strong partnership grew more guarded and calculated.
They done took down all these other powerful black people. Jay-Z's like the lone standing powerful black man.
You do the track wrestling on them. Jay is them people. You do the history of most of the people that got in trouble in the industry, big trouble, who they went to for help. That's true. When Lil Wayne was in trouble, who did he go to? When Meek Mills was in trouble, who he go to? Meek Mills said it himself. Desiree helped me. You understand? So how could he be up next? You know what I'm saying? He is them people. They go to him when they got problems. And what they gonna say if he don't come up and nothing? What they gonna say? Told you, he ain't got nothing to do with that. They still gonna cover it up anyway. But I don't think they coming after him at all. I don't think they got, like I said, I think he is them. He has a relationship with them. You talking about a woman that had a relationship with the feds for 20-something.
For months, 50 Cent hinted that what he was presenting wasn't mere speculation, but material substantial enough to support an entire documentary, while many others remained silent. As scrutiny intensified, reports suggest Jay-Z may have seen potential fallout early and chose discretion over allegiance. The result was noticeable distance, reduced visibility, and a silence that appeared intentional rather than accidental.
You got an agent, your agent that's in charge of you. You think she don't have no relationships with over the years with all these agents that became retired and connected and this and that and the third till they just know she got power. That's power over there. You know what I'm saying? Who you wanting one on your side? You got them on your side? You know what I'm saying? If something happened with him, it's going to be about a money situation. It ain't going to be nothing that's going to hurt. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't see them going after him. You know what I'm saying? But everything Jaguar be saying do flourish.
What caught insiders off guard was the apparent legal overlap. As new claims surfaced, Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, was repeatedly mentioned in matters tied to Diddy's escalating legal challenges. The timing and pattern raised eyebrows, suggesting deliberate positioning, moves aimed less at public optics and more at mitigating risk, safeguarding interests, and preserving long-term leverage.
And I know that for a fact. the scars to prove it. You want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing. I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy. And they're going to be crazy. It's going to be the women that get them in the...
Some critics, including Jaguar Wright, claim that Jay-Z has mastered the art of stepping away just before controversy erupts. As Diddy's legal and public challenges intensified, 50 Cent seemed notably confident and well-informed, suggesting that dynamics behind the scenes may have shifted. If Jay-Z anticipated that sensitive information might surface, his decision to create distance could have been strategic, shielding himself as events unfolded, even without any direct remarks from 50 Cent. The suggestion remained subtle but persistent. The divide may have begun internally, leaving the industry uneasy and highlighting how closely Jay-Z and Diddy's paths are still intertwined.
These are criminals. Diddy is a dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there. How many people does he have to be aware of before people see him for who he is?
It seems like these artists are trying to run away from their past. Diddy changed his name multiple times to say, that's not me. I'm trying to move beyond Diddy. I'm Love now. It seems like Jay-Z would try to run away from his past.
Calling that love and anything that he did love. Brother love. What kind of love? Baby oil love. Baby love. Baby love. Explicit love. Hey! They never thought that hip hop would take it this far.
Oh man, it's different now.
These lyrics are all hitting different right now. All that people talking about.
Jaguar contends that their narratives are deeply intertwined, built on parallel climbs and pivotal choices that mirror one another. In her view, when one moves, the other is inevitably impacted. She suggests their connection runs too deep to easily dissolve, shaped by shared history and unspoken moments that make them seem less like separate individuals and more like two halves of the same complicated story.
Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress,
yeah,
who died of an imaginary aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the...
Observers notice another subtle shift when Jay-Z and Beyonce began losing followers without addressing it publicly. There were no statements or rebuttals, just a seamless continuation of business as usual. To Jaguar, that silence didn't reflect confidence, but control, a carefully maintained composure that concealed rising tension as pressure mounted behind the scenes.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D-Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D-Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D-Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
And in her eyes, it's not just Jay-Z who's a criminal, but also his wife, Beyonce.
Why your husband don't want to put his seed inside of you and put it in everybody else? Wild in this world, yo.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
That belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, you know, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
Why don't nobody want to accept that?
I think
she went the girl cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. You know, snacking on his big people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington. Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
In her view, the issue extends beyond Jay-Z. She also levels serious accusations at Beyonce, suggesting that both share responsibility in ways she believes the public has yet to fully confront.
No, I know.
Yeah, but he said he would never sit with me. He would never have me on his... He never wanted to talk to me. Never would.
But I got receipts. Vlad, why did you reach out to Jag back in June asking for Jag to be on the show?
Why you do that, Vlad?
Vlad, why you playing in our face?
Why you lying on his podcast?
And Vlad, and your fat wife.
We'll stop there.
Damn.
Damn. Let's be very clear. This is the email that DJ Vlad sent me, his producer sent me, asking me to appear on his podcast on YouTube just after the Cassie video was released on my birthday. I saw it. I never responded. Odell responded. Weeks and weeks later. But then again, Diddy was already in trouble, so you really didn't need to talk to me because you couldn't do much disinformation with me. I guess that's why your friend from the Star Report or should I say the comet report, because he crashed out just like a comet. I guess that's why he was so upset when I started asking him relevant questions about why he's propping up a liar. At this point in time, Vlad, I think it's only fair to say that Carol Johnson, your assistant, unless you're saying you didn't know, she sent this on your...
Jaguar suggests the scrutiny doesn't end with Jay-Z, but extends to Beyonce, not as a statement of fact, but as part of a wider narrative that keeps them both within the same sphere of attention. Rather than offering conclusions, it raises difficult questions and reinforces the idea that mere proximity sustains the pressure surrounding them.
I didn't even know Vlad was going to be on.
Oh.
Like I said, it was brilliant. Wow. Because everything that he said, denouncing me and then confirming me and then talking about, that all happened a day before the report about the 9-year-old boy was released. And before people started confirming that the video that was being shopped around was Bieber and Diddy. See, that's the problem with running your mouth, Vlad. That's the problem. You didn't realize on Monday that every word that you said was going to be invalidated on Tuesday. See, that's what happens when you're a liar. See, I didn't have to worry about what I said on Monday, because I knew what I said on Monday was going to hold up on Wednesday. The truth needs no support, just time and room.
She emphasized that the interview with Piers Morgan wasn't staged, explaining that the opportunity came through her team and that she agreed to it fully aware of his reputation for thorough vetting and legal caution. The decision proved consequential. Her comments couldn't be easily dismissed and sparked swift backlash. Media personalities quickly weighed in, including a public rejection from DJ Vlad, which felt less like a rebuttal and more like an indication that her remarks had struck a sensitive chord.
Go over to the feds with all this paperwork, you understand? And I mentioned this before, you understand? They not only talking about the extortion stuff, they talking about how they trying to be made to have this what you call this promotion, this distribution thing. And which I'm finding out they wasn't even going to be a part of it until later. But they was in fear, like they was trying to be made to be a part of this whole distribution thing that Suge Knight was trying to build up with Rockefeller, because it was Dame Dash, it was Irv Gotti, it was Jay Prince, and Death Row. You understand what I'm saying? So now everybody wanna know who's this and who's that, and want to go back and say, yo, how do you know? It came from the horse's mouth. He said he got all the paperwork to prove it. Kirk Burrow said it plenty of times, but nobody won't sit down with him. I mean, like, you won't get none of these, these radio stations and all this stuff like that to sit down with him. He said, I got the paperwork. He got files from the from the DEA and the FBI, all that stuff like that. He got plenty of...
She doubled down, reminding audiences that months earlier she had cautioned that sensitive material was circulating behind the scenes. At the time, critics dismissed the warning due to a lack of visible proof. But when legal sources tied to ongoing cases later confirmed they had encountered similar material, the conversation shifted from mere speculation to something viewed with greater seriousness. In that light, what once seemed like silence began to appear more deliberate than accidental.
But Jay-Z, I didn't know about that. So Jay-Z, he told too?
Said that years ago, man. Said that years ago. What are you gonna do? They're gonna do whatever. Yo, listen to me. They're the reason why rap in New York went down the drain. They made sure that these young cats didn't come up with platforms and didn't come up with situations. Like Jay-Z, let me tell you something. Jay-Z and And it's funny. It's funny. We were talking about how Puff and Ja Rule was cool. But at one time, Puff was trying to trick Ja Rule into going at Jay-Z. That whole weekend that he was with Sarah. The whole weekend they was in that hotel room. That day they was in that hotel room. All the way coming back on that G5 jet. He was trying to talk Ja Rule into going at Jay-Z. But now him and Jay-Z is like freaking frat. Crazy how things work out.
She called it the turning point, the instant when the balance changed, explaining that lies endure only through continuous concealment and diversion, whereas the truth requires nothing more than time and room to reveal itself naturally.
On Drink Champs, and he said that Puffy was the feds. What you think about him saying that?
Well, when he talking about the feds is he could be saying that he's their ear. Puff is the one who goes back and he tells like he did when Suge, when Jay Prince, when Irv Gotti, I think it was Irv Gotti could have been a part of that too. When they was all trying to get that distribution company together, he the one went back and told Jimmy Iovine them, and then him and Kirk Burroughs Kirk said he didn't know what he was doing. They took paperwork and they took some stuff up to the feds, you understand, regarding Death Row now. I don't know the intricate details of what they took, but I know they went up to the feds one day.
Individuals once considered untouchable are now subtly linked to long-rumored events that were overlooked or dismissed years ago. As past patterns are revisited and familiar names emerge in surprising contexts, whispers are turning into pressing questions, revealing that the silence which once shielded certain reputations is no longer as firm or reliable as it once appeared.
I guess Pac had got whiffed that Jay-Z was in town. Well, you know he gonna do a show because Jay-Z, he doing a show. But you got to realize Jay-Z had became an enemy of Pac because I think he had said some, was going to do a song with Big or whatever like that, the whole 9 yards. So Jay is now Pac's enemy too. So Chaz Williams, who was over Black Hands. Black Hands was one of the labels who did that Black Gangster had every artist in New York on. And Chaz, who is now getting into the music business, has become a music executive. And he was once a former gangster who was on American Gangster BET because they had him down for robbing 161 banks. That's what they put in their program and everything. But Chaz was a gangster in New York City that became a music executive. So he gets a phone call saying that Jay is not going to come out the room because Tupac threatened him. So he's not going to do his show. Can he make some phone calls, you understand, to get Pac off the bullshit? So I think he may have talked to Big D, and Big D and Eric B called Suge, and Suge was laughing, saying that wasn't him. Because they tried to make it seem like it was Suge that was doing it, but it was Pac. So I guess Suge called Pac. Pac let him go ahead and do his show and everything like that. But Jay was scared to come out his room.
So that story was really true about Jay-Z being afraid to come out his hotel room.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, he was scared. Probably still is scared.
The situation revealed just how delicate alliances can be, with observers noting Puffy's extensive influence across media and business, his protected platforms, selective consequences, and recurring patterns that demanded attention. When Kanye West openly questioned that power by alluding to hidden connections, the response was swift and intense, reinforcing a familiar truth. Real power doesn't need to broadcast itself. It acts quietly, decisively, and largely out of the public eye.
Trying to start Death Row East Coast. And I would have been Pac, Eric B, and you know what I'm saying, all the dudes here in New York. So then they're going to have groups coming back and forth from Cali to New York. So it was just good business. just to chill out with that. But they was trying to chill out the whole thing. They had a big meeting and Puff wouldn't send a representative or let Zip or Chaz represent him in the meeting.
Yeah, that's a wild story. Yeah, who told you this story, if you don't mind me asking?
I was there.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that, man. I didn't know you was there. So you was there when Jay was scared to come out of his hotel room. I had no idea, man.
I used to roll with Chaz every day, bro. And then it came out. And then it came out, somebody else told the story. But that I think it may have been Dame Dash or something like that had told the story. A lot of my stories get out, man, but they don't believe when I tell them.
Alliances seem to change almost overnight, with observers highlighting Puffy's extensive influence across media and business. Some outlets remain untouched, others face rapid repercussions, and protection appeared uneven yet calculated. When Kanye West openly questioned that power by hinting at hidden ties, the reaction was swift and forceful, underscoring familiar reality. True power rarely announces itself. It operates quietly and acts with precision. Gene recalls that there were subsequent attempts to downplay or erase the story, yet he remains firm in his account. He explains that the industry acted swiftly to contain it, as early moves to bridge the East and West Coast hinted at a formidable New York. California alliance that could withstand open conflict. Had tensions between Tupac Shakur and Jay-Z fully erupted, that delicate plan would have collapsed. Thus, the narrative was suppressed, not to protect the truth, but to safeguard a future the industry was quietly orchestrating.